Good morning. My name's Sarah Hamilton-Gill, and I'm really delighted this morning to be able to spend some time with Barbara Cox, absolute wellness expert in Europe and the UK. And I've got some really challenging questions, I think, for Barbara to answer today. So anyway, before we do that, Barbara, would you just like to introduce yourself?
Sarah, you've scared me already with those challenging questions. Hi, everyone. I'm Barbara Cox. I'm an award-winning nutritionist and wellness expert. I belong to the European Wellness Council, and I am passionate about everything to do with health, well-being, and feeling fantastic.
Brilliant. And I really appreciate your time out today, and also to share your expertise with the wider audience and the community that we've both got. So my first question, if you're ready for it.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. So how important is a wellness concentration during this lockdown?
Oh, wow. Good question. Immensely important. I mean, obviously it's important all the time. Okay. But for those people looking to adopt more of a wellness strategy during this time while we're in lockdown is imperative, because most people feel very alone and isolated, confused. And so therefore the bad habits that can sneak in around that time can sneak up on someone, causing them to feel symptoms of lockdown, like depression, anxiety, lack of sort of mental clarity, direction. And it is a self-perpetuating catch-22. When you're not eating properly, you're not, taking care of yourself, then those feelings set in. And when those feelings set in, we go for more comfort foods like the junk food and the alcohol and the crisps and the chocolate to keep our energy up, we think. And so can you see how this just like spirals out of control? And then after lockdown, we're trying to deal with the fallout of that, which can take a lot longer. It's super important.
Yeah, and I think we saw that from the first lockdown, is a lot of people are still trying to lose their lockdown, additional weight that they've got as well, which I guess brings me on to my second question, which is, what are some of the triggers when working that can negatively affect your productivity?
Okay, there's quite a few triggers. Number one I start with is hydration. So when we're dehydrated, you only need to be dehydrated about 3% for your body to drop in productivity by 30%. So, if your brain starts sort of wandering off in another direction, you don't have that mental clarity, then definitely go for a glass of water. And some people will overload on coffee instead, right? Thinking, I need a caffeine boost, when actually that's making you even more dehydrated. So really aim for the water. I'd say number one. I mean, other triggers can be when you're not sleeping well. So there's a lot of factors that can affect your sleep, from not unplugging, because we might be working longer at our desk, and because technology is at the home, and some people have an office in their bedroom, and so it's really easy to they do not unplug before you go to bed, and then you've got an email whirling around. There's lots of things. Last one on that, which I've got about 20 of them, but the last one is your blood sugar levels dropping, and that's because you're either eating incorrect foods that are high glycemic, so you're going for the high energy pasta, cereals, toast, sandwiches, and that constant grazing can send your blood sugar levels on a roller coaster. And when you're in a dip, you will definitely lose that fast decision making, and that brain fog will set in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing, isn't it, how these things can impact your productivity so much. And I'm sure in other webinars that you do going forward that you'll expand upon all of those 20 triggers. But for now, that's really, and I'm going to move on to my third question, which really it's something that I think a lot of people feel is, why is wellness so confusing? You know, how can you strip out the truth from all these crazy fads that are going on?
Oh, you know, the wellness industry is a £1 billion industry, and so it's the perfect marketing piece, and we've been marketed to in so
Yeah.
many different ways. There's a lot of things, and being part of the Wellness Council, I represent Europe on a global scale to get in proper labeling laws and proper laws around nutritional products as well, and proper certifications. Because I mean, you can get free nutritional certifications now online, and so anybody can be a nutritionist giving advice. So it's really quite scary, and it's very difficult. So, you know, again, using trusted partners with compliant information. Don't just pull things off the internet and expect it to be true. You know, here in the EU, we have a lot of compliance and some very strict rules to abide by in terms of claims. Whereas in America, if you happen to get on one of those American sites, you know, it'll tell you anything just to get the sale. So you have to be really careful not to be duped by these. And it is one of my pet peeves. So yeah, I think it's standardizing everything and just being really vigilant and just have some trusted partners, and using some common sense. You know, one day a science article might say a carrot's good for you, and then the following day there's another science article saying, oh, carrots are bad, don't eat carrots, you know, and so that, please, everyone needs to use some common sense around these as well.
Yeah. I think it is. It is very confusing, but I think, like you said, it's really important to have a trusted advisor. And, you know, I know that's why myself and a lot of my colleagues come to you for advice, because we know that we come to the source of what we know that is trusted. So,
thank you.
So, consistency. This is a really big topic in everybody's world, whether you're working from home or in the office. But how can you help us be consistent with well-being at work at the moment?
And I think that really comes down to having a proper strategy and plan around wellness. You know, sometimes people look into wellness programs after there's a problem. Maybe they've lost a team member to one of the diseases of civilization. That's cancer, heart disease, diabetes, mental health issues. You know, once something like that happens, then they think, oh, we should do something. But actually, the time is right now. And my ethos is protect and correct. So to get consistency, it's having that kind of mindset of, how can I protect myself, my team, my staff members, my family and wider community to make better choices, so we won't get one of these diseases of civilization. So, you know, really it's scheduling it in, it's having a proper program, it's working with an expert in their field, maybe taking a look at online courses, qualifications, which I can help with all of those, to give a really simple plan. Keep it simple, keep it attractive to everybody and impactful, so you get the engagement. And everyone loves wellness for a different reason. So to keep it consistent means you need to have a wide variety of wellness points that you're touching. And I can definitely help with all those.
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually, that consistency needs to hit different things for different people. So it's this wide variety of options that are available through a wellness program, in both in the corporate and for an individual. And I guess for me, the next thing is, if you could wave your magic health wand, which I'm sure you.
I need one of those.
Yes, you do. What would be your vision for a healthy workstation, either working from home or in an office environment?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess they're quite they're quite different in certain aspects, depending on what your outcomes of wellness really are. But now that most people are working from home, I'll concentrate on that. So it needs to be a real clear station. It needs to have your elements of a healthy snack, as well as hydration. So water, definitely. You need to have maybe a positive sort of outlook on your wellness strategy. So for example, what I mean by that is most people don't drink enough water. So if they had a little note that said, "Ooh, make sure you're drinking 8 glasses of water," or a message on your phone, or some positive impact to help you get into a healthy regime, they need to be in your visual space on your desk. Otherwise we forget, you know. And so those kinds of things are really important. But it is planning, you know, meal planning. Have your schedule that sits in your sort of workspace, either within the computer or a physical diary. Time to have breaks throughout the day, and not just a toilet break. Okay, I mean a break. Yeah, but you know, sometimes we feel guilty for having breaks, but actually if you have a proper 10-minute break where maybe you're doing a little bit of exercise, maybe you're you know, taking yourself either walking around your house or up and down stairs, something to get that blood pumping again, because the, you know, blood transports not all the nutrients we have, but the oxygen to the brain. And when you're sitting here not doing anything, so think of your desk and your spatial awareness, you know, being really healthy. And finally is just making sure, and a lot of people don't look at this, is how clean the air is around your desk. You know, don't be using non-toxic, a sort of toxic stuff. Don't use like toxic air fresheners with chemicals, because actually those build up in the system and can cause some problems. So you want to be having maybe a humidifier or a dehumidifier if the area that you're working with is damp. You want to make sure your lighting is proper. You're getting that good sunlight or artificial light that reflects daylight, because it's really good for our eyes and our brain and our mental clarity. And then take a look maybe at some essential oils. So peppermint is very good for sort of boosting your alertness. Frankincense, which we're coming into the season of festive frankincense, aren't we? Really good for mental clarity. So, you know, there's some good sort of festive sprays that might be out there that are non-toxic, that can also help as well. So yeah, make sure that you're looking at all those aspects of wellness around your workspace.
I think it's really important. I know I find this for myself, and you and I have had these conversations before. So, you know, I've got into the habit of bringing a jug of water onto my desk so that I can top it up during the day. Snacks, you and I have talked about snacks. And what would you suggest for people that are thinking about, I'd like to have something to just boost things midday and mid-afternoon? What kind of snacks are really good for people?
Okay, a couple of really good snacks. I love watermelon. So watermelon's really good for actually lowering your blood pressure if you're in a stressful situation. So if you're feeling stressed, definitely get some watermelon. But it's also very hydrating and gives some good kind of glucose hit to the body as well. So you get that sweetness, that tanginess, hits a lot of things. So fruit is always good because it's also portion controlled. Maybe a watermelon isn't portion controlled so much. So make sure you cut it into smaller amounts, put it in the fridge. So fruit is great, but I also like nuts, you know, macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts, cashew nuts, all of those are good. I have a big jar, but then I take a tablespoon, I decant that into an egg cup, and my egg cup is my portion controller. That's the other thing, you know, having boundaries around portions. Crudités of vegetables are always good. Sometimes in the afternoon, I feel like I want something crunchy. So, you know, I don't recommend people eating at their desk, but sometimes we just have to. And crudités of vegetables are good. So carrot sticks, pepper sticks, celery sticks, they're all very cleansing and packed with nutrients, color. You know, we eat with our eyes, so you want something colorful. The worst thing you can do is to have chocolate bars, crisps, Yeah, you know,
Ooh,
wagon
no.
wheels, what are those? You know, all those kind of cakey things in,
Quick fixes.
yeah, because they will really send your blood
Mm,
sugar levels roller coastering.
mm,
And that's when you gain weight that is unwanted. It's normally around the belly area, but can also cause things like constipation. The last thing you want when you're sitting at your desk is, you know, feeling really uncomfortable in your gut. So make sure your
yeah.
snacks reflect that.
And I think it's really important, this healthy workstation. I think for me, I'm very much a visual person. So, you know, I'm very conscious that I haven't actually got any plants on my desk at the moment. So I think, again, getting some nice greenery in your workspace on your desk, or, you know, I've got some beautiful flowers that have arrived from a client a couple of days ago. So I need to bring those in and have them on my desk. So I think the whole piece around feeling good around where you're working, because I don't know about you, I know we're both very busy business owners. I spend a lot of time at my desk, and I think it's important that it feels good and it looks good.
I agree. If it feels good and it looks good, I think that reflects your brain space. And when the brain
Yeah,
is feeling good, it's producing all the right feel good hormones. And that's going to reflect in your productivity and the work. You know, we all want to feel really proud of the work that
mm,
we create. You
yeah,
can't create good work in chaos, whether the body is in chaos being unwell, or your brain or is a reflection of the chaos on your desk.
yeah, absolutely. So interesting, these points. And, you know, I know, Barbara, that you work with individuals, you work with teams, and you work very much with the corporate world as well, with strategic wellbeing programs. So any other top tips that you want to share with us before we kind of conclude this morning
Wow, I
session?
have so many top tips, but I think one of the ones that actually helps people the most is around meal planning, because it can be quite
Mm,
confusing, especially now. Because again, maybe some people can't get out to the supermarkets to buy things, so they're not planning their meals as much. So it really pays to sit down on a Sunday evening or on the weekend sometime with your family to make sure that all aspects are being taken care of.
mm,
If you have healthy food in the house that reflects
yeah.
you know, a healthy balanced diet, which is good quality protein sources. If you're vegetarian, then taking a look at some nuts, seeds, and some of the vegetarian alternatives that are out there as well. And then, you know, fish, chicken, and good quality red meat with an abundance of vegetables. And there's some great seasonal vegetables now that will boost the immune system as well, because when you're meal planning properly, make sure you're getting that variety of food in. I know we talk an awful lot around variety.
Yeah.
But actually on my website, there is a 150-star food chart, which you can take a look at and download. And basically, I recommend people get these 150 foods in their diet every month, which
Wow.
give you the variety that you need. So meal planning is imperative. So get the cookbooks out, make a plan for all your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Shop accordingly, because it might take you down some different supermarket aisles to see some different food, but you will also avoid those marketing at the ends of the aisles on foods that's 50% off on a chocolate bar that you don't need because it's not on your shopping list. So again, those
Yeah.
are some great tips. Yeah, plan.
Yeah.
We plan for our business success. So now you need to plan for your wellness success.
Absolutely. And I think this is one of the critical factors that I talk to a lot of my consultants about is, you know, without your health, you have no wealth. It is absolutely that critical. If you haven't got the energy to run your business, and that's not just being self-employed, that's the whole corporate piece. If you're not feeling well, your productivity and your performance is not good.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate your time this morning, Barbara. It's been really fascinating hearing some of your insights in terms of what we can do to help ourselves And of course, anybody that's in the corporate world that wants to reach out to you as well, then your details will be in the comments below. And, it's great that you're spreading all of your knowledge to help other people. Thank you.
Thank you. I really love what I do, and I know it's made a difference in tens of thousands of people that I've worked with so far, and just love spreading the word. So happy to help however I can, everyone.
Brilliant. And thank you, Barbara. Bye.
Pleasure. Thanks, Sarah. Bye. Have a
Bye.
supercharged day.
Yes, indeed, I will.